Hello guys, welcome to NameTech channel. My name is Nehemiah and today we are going to discuss NumPy array slicing. But then before we start, if it's your first time to get into this channel, please consider subscribing, like and share the video to your friends. And to the returning subscribers, thank you very much for your continued support. Now, talking about slicing arrays, what do we mean by slicing? Basically guys, in Python, slicing means taking element from one given index to another given index. First of all, let me open the text editor so that I may show you. Actually, I'm using Jupyter Notebook. You can use any other text editor. Let me use a command prompt to open it. Then I'm going to type here Jupyter Notebook. Remember, I showed you how to install this Jupyter in our first class, Jupyter Notebook. Then I click enter and I give it time to open. And so guys, once the page opens, then I click here on the create new. I click on the create new, and then guys, here the title you can rename. Perhaps let's say slicing. You can give it any other name. So let me say slicing. Then rename it. And then guys, let me show you how you can slice some elements. Basically, I'm gonna type here some lists. Then we are going to slice index, perhaps index 1 to 5, or whichever value we have. So first of all, we are going to import the module by the import keyword. Actually, we use this import keyword to import this NumPy, but we are going to import it as the alias with this keyword as to import NumPy as an alias np. Now in this second line of code, I'm gonna type here a variable. Then I'm gonna create an object with np array function, and then within these two rounded brackets, I'm gonna create here a list with some integers inside it. Perhaps let me say 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 and so forth. And then now guys, let's try to slice from 1 to 5. So what I'm gonna do here to the print function, we are going to define actually the slicing with this object that we have just created. Then I'm gonna specify the start and at the end. So guys, at the start is 1, and then at the end is 5. And so guys, to run it to the terminal, then we are going to use the run button, and then I give it time to load. And then guys, you can see that we have just passed these elements from index 1 to 5. Remember, I said that in NumPy 0 is defined as an index. Actually 0 is like 1, then 1 is like 2. So actually indexing start from 0. So now when I said 1 to 5, so basically it shift to 2. Now 2 to 5. So guys, we have just sliced from 1 to 5. So guys, basically this is how you can do it. This is how you can slice the the elements. And guys, the other thing that you need to know is that if we do not pass its end, it's considered the length of the array in that dimension. Perhaps let's try this one. Let me say, for example, here. Let me say, for example, from 4. Then I do not specify actually the end. And so guys, you can see that it will print from 5 to the end of your array. And then guys, now you understand that if we don't pass the end, it's considered the length of the array in that dimension. Now guys, the other thing, perhaps let's try to slice elements from the beginning to the end, perhaps to the index perhaps 5 or 4 or whichever value. Now if you do not specify the start, it will print from the beginning to where you are specifying. Perhaps let me say to 4. Then I click what? Let me click on run. Then again, you can see that we have just printed from 1 to to 4. And so guys, in a few, let's talk about negative slicing. So guys, basically we use the minus operator to refer to an index from the end, and let me show you that, guys. Perhaps in this case, here at the end, perhaps here, let me say, for example, let me say negative 2 to what? Negative perhaps 1. Right here, let me say 4, let me say 4 to 4, negative 4, then here 1, then let me run, and then guys, you can see it is 4 to what? To 6. So, and so guys, let's discuss step value. Guys, we use the step value to determine the step of the slicing. Let me show you here an example. Perhaps I want us guys perhaps to return every other element from the index perhaps 1 to index what? To index 5. So what I'm gonna do, guys, here I'm gonna say perhaps 1 5, and then what? Perhaps 2, then let me run, and then guys, you can see it is 2 and 4. So guys, basically this is how you can do at step. Perhaps if you want to return every other element from the entire array, then perhaps we use this let me say we use these 2 columns, sorry, we use these 2 columns, perhaps let me say 2, then let me run, and then guys, you can see we have just done what? We have passed every other elements from this array. And so guys, let's discuss slicing to the arrays. First of all, let me create that array. Let me copy first of all here, and then I do what? Let me add a comma, then I do what? Let me paste there, and then you must remember to include what? To include these this double what? Opening and closing what? Square brackets. Now guys, here perhaps to the print function, I'm gonna type something like let me say perhaps 1, and then I want to 4, and then guys, you can see here to the terminal, guys, I will remember we specified these are first first row, and then from number 1 to 4, from index 1 to 4. So remember I said the index 1 is like now 2, now it is 2 to 4. Now it has just what? Printed 2 to 4. And guys, basically this is what I wanted to show you in this video, and I think you've gained something. So guys, I thank you very much for your time. Up next we'll be discussing basically we shall be discussing data types, but for now guys, thank you very much, and have a blessed day. This is Nehemiah. Goodbye.